Shelley, I'd love to talk about these two different styles of guitars that you make, and you've got an acoustic, a flat top here.
Indeed.
And it's a beauty. Tell me about the difference between this one and the jazz guitar.
Sure. This instrument is probably a style of instrument that people would recognize. It's the instrument you would use to accompany a singer-songwriter, to play blues on, to play a folky song. The top is generally flat. The bridge is glued onto it, and it has a big round open tone, great for accompanying or playing a little bit of lead instrument guitar.
And it really rings.
Yeah, big overtones, rich and round, and just a really friendly tone.
As you're playing that, I'm just noticing this little opening in the top here.
Yeah, that's a sound port. A lot of builders are starting to put these on their instruments. It offers the player a little bit of a monitoring effect, a little bit of a wash of sound. It can, if you're in a jamming situation, it can make hearing your own guitar a little easier. It just opens up the guitar a little bit generally without losing much projection out of the front of the instrument.
And is there any reason why it is the shape it is? It's like a little egg shape here.
In this case, on this instrument, I wanted to make something fairly small because I think getting into too large an aperture on a small instrument with a big sound hole, you can start to lose some of that richness and roundness. So that's probably why I landed on that particular shape and size.
Okay. So let's see the other one.
Sure.
So this is the jazz manouche style.
That's correct. These are based on the designs of Mario Macaferi and the Selmer Company of France. Obviously, distinctly different look of instrument. It uses a tailpiece, a floating bridge, and a teeny tiny little oval sound hole.
So it's quite a different way of keeping the strings
Indeed,
on.
and the physics of the instrument are just completely different because this is trying to push the bridge through the top, whereas on the flat top guitar, it's trying to rip the bridge off the top. So
different, yeah.
They're completely different structurally on the inside. And as you can hear, here's that same G chord. It's a little bit brash, and so these instruments function really well in a jazz manouche context because the decay, the projection of the instrument is suitable for that acoustic situation where you have at least two other guitars, a violin, a bass, and you need to project, but you need to not create mud out of the sound. So it's kind of ear-piercing.
It's so loud.
But it's very typical of that style.
And very percussive, like you say, very percussive.
Very percussive. It's really, sometimes I think of myself as more of a hi-hat. As a rhythm guitar player, I play more like the hi-hat of a drum kit. And without the lead playing, it just kind of sounds like a locomotive. But once you get all those things linked together, it's a type of music that has a really fun momentum to it.
Yes, it absolutely does. It's kind of music you can't listen to without smiling.
Yeah,
really.
yeah.